What happens when we ask one of life's most profound and unsettling questions? Does anything truly matter? For centuries, philosophers, writers, and thinkers have wrestled with this question. And one philosophy stands out for its radical answer: nihilism. At its core, nihilism is the belief that life has no inherent meaning, purpose, or value. To many, this idea sounds dark, even dangerous. But is nihilism really as hopeless as it seems? Or could it hold a deeper message about how we approach life and meaning? To understand nihilism, we need to explore its origins, its evolution through history, and its relevance in today's world. Let's take a closer look at this powerful and often misunderstood philosophy. The word nihilism comes from the Latin word nihil, meaning nothing. Its roots can be traced back to ancient skepticism, but the philosophy gained prominence in the 19th century, thanks to the work of German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche didn't invent nihilism, but he is often associated with it because he explored its implications so deeply. He believed that traditional sources of meaning, such as religion, morality, and societal structures, were losing their power in the modern world. One of Nietzsche's most famous ideas is the death of God, a metaphor for the decline of religious and moral absolutes in the wake of scientific progress and modernity. Nietzsche wrote, "God is dead, God remains dead, and we have killed him." This wasn't a celebration, but a warning. He believed that without a shared belief system, humanity would face an existential crisis, a world where meaning and values seem arbitrary or non-existent. For Nietzsche, the danger of nihilism wasn't just its presence, but how people might respond to it. When faced with the realization that life has no inherent purpose, people might fall into despair, apathy, or even destructive behavior. He called this passive nihilism, a resignation to life's apparent meaninglessness. However, Nietzsche didn't see nihilism as the end of the story. He believed it could be a transformative force. By confronting the void and rejecting false certainties, individuals could create their own values and meanings. He referred to this process as the revaluation of all values, a way of transcending nihilism to build a life of personal purpose and authenticity. Beyond Nietzsche, nihilism has taken many forms. In existentialism, for instance, philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus grappled with the implications of a meaningless universe. Sartre argued that while life has no inherent meaning, individuals are free and indeed responsible for creating their own. Camus famously explored the absurd, the conflict between humanity's desire for meaning and the universe's indifference. In his essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, Camus compared human existence to the Greek myth of Sisyphus, a man condemned to roll a boulder up a hill for eternity. Yet, Camus concluded that we must imagine Sisyphus happy, finding meaning in the act of living itself. Nihilism has also influenced art, literature, and culture. In the 20th century, it became a central theme in works that questioned societal norms, religious dogma, and traditional values. Think of Fyodor Dostoevsky's Notes from Underground, or Franz Kafka's The Trial. Stories that reflect the existential weight of living in a world without clear answers. In modern times, nihilism often appears in pop culture. From the grim humor of TV shows like Rick and Morty, to the dark realism of movies like Fight Club. These works reflect a world where traditional structures of meaning are frequently challenged or subverted. Despite its intellectual richness, nihilism is often misunderstood. To many, it seems synonymous with hopelessness or moral decay. Critics argue that if life has no inherent meaning, people might abandon ethics, reject responsibility, or fall into despair. But this critique oversimplifies nihilism. While it does confront unsettling truths, it doesn't necessarily lead to negativity or chaos. In fact, some interpretations of nihilism, like Nietzsche's active nihilism, see it as an opportunity for liberation and creativity. Think of it this way. If nothing has inherent meaning, we are free to construct our own. This freedom can be terrifying, but it's also empowering. It challenges us to take responsibility for our lives and to find or create what matters to us. Instead of clinging to external sources of validation, we can look inward and cultivate a sense of purpose that aligns with our own values and experiences. So, how does nihilism relate to our everyday lives? In a world filled with uncertainty, many people experience moments of existential doubt. Questions like, why am I here? Or, what's the point of it all? Can feel overwhelming, but nihilism offers a lens through which to navigate these feelings. By acknowledging life's inherent lack of meaning, we can stop searching for answers in external systems and start focusing on the things that bring us fulfillment. Whether it's relationships, creativity, personal growth, or simply the joy of living in the moment. Consider how nihilism might change the way we approach failure. If life has no predetermined purpose, failure becomes less about falling short of an ultimate goal and more about the process of learning and evolving. This perspective can make setbacks feel less crushing and more like opportunities for growth. Similarly, nihilism encourages us to let go of societal pressures and expectations. Without a universal blueprint for success, we're free to define what happiness and fulfillment mean to us personally. Nihilism also invites us to embrace uncertainty. In a world without inherent meaning, there's no need to fear the unknown. Instead, we can view uncertainty as a space for possibility and exploration. This mindset can lead to greater resilience as we learn to navigate life's challenges without relying on rigid structures or beliefs. Of course, living with a nihilistic perspective isn't always easy. It requires confronting uncomfortable truths and finding ways to create meaning in a seemingly indifferent universe. But it also offers a kind of freedom, a chance to live authentically, guided by our own values rather than external dictates. So, is nihilism the answer to life's big questions? Perhaps not entirely. But it is a powerful tool for examining our assumptions, challenging our beliefs, and exploring what truly matters to us. Whether we see it as a threat or an opportunity, nihilism forces us to confront the nature of existence and our place within it. As we reflect on the ideas of nihilism, it's worth asking, what gives your life meaning? Is it relationships, creativity, knowledge, or something else entirely? By engaging with these questions, we can move beyond fear and uncertainty and begin to craft a life that feels genuinely our own.